Good morning, everyone, and happy Friday. Welcome to our webinar. It is, of course, my name is Nikki and I am the BDM for VicTaz. I also have Sophia helping me again with this webinar today. So thank you for joining us this morning. If you do have any questions throughout the webinar, feel free to send them through and either Sophia will answer them or she will send them through to me. If you would like to share this with your colleagues, don't forget that we will send you at the end the link. You can forward on that link. Otherwise, all of our webinars, including all of our older webinars, can be found on our YouTube channel, or you can find them via the website in the Agent Resources area. So today we are looking at France. So today's webinar is a focus on France. We're getting ready, obviously, for Europe high season. So we've got a couple of different little, I guess, general information about the trains, and then also some tips and tricks and hacks that the reps and the guys in the office have come up with about questions that we get quite frequently. So why travel to France? I think you guys would probably know this more than me, dealing with probably Europe every day, but France is, of course, Paris is the city of romance with spectacular jaw-dropping monuments such as the Notre Dame, Mona Lisa at the Louvre, and one of the world-famous landmarks, the Eiffel Tower. So there's obviously a lot more to see than just Paris, and the best way to get to those other cities, of course, is by rail. So we have quite a large country, the language and the culture that is fiercely protected by its people, and then, of course, we have river cruises, wine, food, cheese, arts, architecture. So there's plenty of reasons for your clients to travel to France. So train travel within France. So firstly, just to go through a couple of the acronyms. So firstly, SNCF, that is the acronym of the French Railway. We also then have TGV, which is the high-speed rail line, and then often we will refer to TER services, and these are the local trains that run around France as well. The TGVs are pretty simple. They are one of the original high-speed rail lines, and it's just in general, train travel in France is super extensive. So it's the most extensive railway network in Europe. It's got 32,000 kilometres of railway tracks, and the high-speed lines travel at speeds of up to 320 km an hour. The rail lines connect 150 cities and towns, and tickets are all e-tickets. So clients can get them directly sent through to them, which makes it a lot easier than dealing with paper tickets, of course, as well. TGV trains. So these are France's high-speed services. I'm not even going to try and pronounce what it stands for, so we'll just keep on calling them TGVs. So these connect to all major cities of France. They travel at around 300 km an hour, just like on average, and they offer first and second class on board. The TGV line, the high-speed lines, are forever expanding as well. So France are currently working on a number of high-speed rail projects to get destinations faster. Only started last year, maybe the end of the year before, the Paris to Bordeaux line was finished, and that reduced travel time by over 70 minutes. So Paris to Bordeaux is now only a 2-hour and 20-minute journey. So it really does cut a lot of travel time when these high-speed lines are up and running. So we do have a couple of route examples here. So we have Paris to Lille, which is 6 daily round trips. You've got Paris to Rennes, which is 19. Paris to Lyon, 21 a day. Paris to Strasbourg, 16. And Paris to Bordeaux is 21 daily. So it's actually a bit shorter. It's 2 hours and 4 minutes. So quite an extensive network around France. Little bit of a gap through the middle traveling between east and west. So often when you are doing a search for something like Bordeaux to Lyon, it may bring up that Paris is the connection point. That's just simply because those high-speed lines are so fast, it is going to be the fastest. So yeah, you can see a little bit of a gap in the middle of the country there, but still great connections on the high-speed lines getting between east and west. The two classes on board, so we have first class. So first class is a 2-1 seating configuration. So there is a solo seat. The 2 adjoining seats or club seats offer space for 2 or 4 people travelling together. Seats will have power sockets for laptops or mobile phones. They are larger and they recline electronically, and there is a space for a wheelchair. So with the wheelchair seats at the moment, it is not something that we can book for France, but if you do have questions about it, please let us know. We will try and send you in the right direction. Second class, so they're comfort and convenient. These are a 2-2 seating configuration. They're essentially just the basic seats. So there are some that will face each other that will still have the table, and then there were some that would just have the simple fold-out table. Just remember, if you do have clients looking in France, there is really not a huge difference between the cost of first and second class generally. And I think for me, the main point of difference is the luggage. So you can see in that bottom right image that there is one of the luggage racks there. So these will be at the end of the carriage, and this is where clients store their bags. This one looks like it's a 3 level, which is most of them are. There's some that are 4, but most of them are 3. So it can probably fit around 16 bags on it if lucky. But if the train is full, there's obviously going to be a lot more people than that. So generally the main difference, other than obviously the size of the seats and the space and stuff, it is the ease of luggage in first class. That is just a whole lot more simplified and a lot less stressful of a process. So first class upgrade options are very popular with the Australian travel market, but if you do have someone maybe tossing up between the two and there is only a small difference in cost, and I'm talking it might be like $10 or $15, it's definitely worth upgrading to first class purely for the luggage. Other things that you will find on TGV services, so there are onboard nurseries on some services. So these have a dressing table and a bottle warmer. Some trains will offer a choice of newspapers or magazines to buy at the bar, but most trains in general have a cafe or a bar on all TGVs. A bar and a food counter is open for the duration of the journey, and this is where you can find food, refreshments, things like breakfast formula, meals, warm and cold dishes, sandwiches, desserts, and warm and cold beverage. Don't forget, of course, that clients can take their own food and drinks on board. Otherwise, they can purchase food from the bar car. There are also generally a washroom in every carriage or one in between 2 carriages. So for France and beyond, the TGVs and the French trains do connect a lot of bordering countries. So there are international connections to obviously every country that France boards with. So we have a wide range of TGV offerings that travel into Switzerland with the LYRIA services, Italy with France-Italy high-speed TGV, and you've got France-Spain high-speed TGV down into Barcelona as well. Obviously, France is an amazing, incredible gateway into Europe with so many clients starting or finishing their journey in the UK. So we obviously do also have the Eurostar that clients can travel into Paris from London in 2 hours and 20 minutes. But onwards from there are plenty of options for them to connect into other bordering countries. The Switzerland product is the LYRIA. So there are TGV LYRIA services between Paris into Geneva, Bern, Lausanne, Zurich, Basel, and Neuchâtel. So the LYRIA operates Geneva, south of France routes as well. So if the clients are coming up from Avignon or Montpellier, and these trains are bookable 100 days in advance. First class on the LYRIA service does offer a meal. These are in 2-1 seat configurations, and they are just a little bit more spacious in terms of legroom, or they do have food available for purchase in second class or additional food at the at-seat trolley service or at the bar. First class travellers also get access to the salon at Paris Gare Lyon, so they get access into the lounge there too. We then have the TGV France-Italy. So this is the train that runs between Paris, Turin into Milan. Just remember with this one that it does go into Milan Porta Garibaldi. So if you are connecting clients onwards from Milan and they are leaving from Central, just ensure that you do give them enough time to connect. or do look for Italian trains that do depart from Porto Garibaldi, because there will be a lot of them. So the direct Paris into Italy service runs 3 times a day. This one offers the same. So the trains are actually designed by Christian Lacroix. So the interior is a very French designer inspired, and they offer 2-2 in second and then 2-1 in first as well. The first class also on this train has a dinner service served at seat, but the cost of the dinner does come at the traveller's expense. So they will offer it to them at their seat, but they will have to pay for it. France-Spain high speed, so this is connecting Paris down into Barcelona. So the TGV Euro duplex, so it's a upstairs and downstairs configuration. Again, a 2-1 configuration or a 2-2 in second. With this one, they also get access to the Renfe Club Lounge for 2 hours prior. So this would be for certain fare types. So if the travellers are holding a promo fare, they're not eligible. So just have a look in the conditions and it'll let you know whether they include the lounge or not. Power sockets at seat in first, larger reclining seat. And in second class, there are 328 seats. So these are quite big services. One thing that I often get asked about this one is, so Paris to Barcelona is now a 6.5-hour journey. There used to be an overnight train that would take roughly 13 hours. So they did get rid of that overnight train because the day train is so fast and convenient. Often clients are looking at going for Paris to Madrid. It doesn't seem like a smart idea to go via Barcelona because as the crow flies, it's the longer way. But in terms of travel time, it is a lot faster to go Paris to Barcelona and then onwards to Madrid on a Renfe Spain service. So if your clients are getting from Paris to Barcelona, the best way is with the France-Spain high-speed train via Barcelona there. So the France Rail Pass, this is a EURAIL product, so it's a EURAIL one country pass. We have, for the France Pass, new validities. So basically they offer 1 to 8 day flexi passes. So you can do a 1-day pass all the way individual days up to a 8-day, and these are travel over 1 month. So if you do have clients that are using a France Pass, while EURAIL pass holder fares are limited on French trains, generally a single country France Pass will have a higher number available. So the France Passes do offer a little bit more flexibility in terms of booking services. So if you have clients who want to do Paris to Nice return and they're coming in now and they want to travel at the start of June, you're probably looking in first class about $600 return. You can actually purchase a 2-day France Pass and add on 2 pass holder fares, and it'll probably come in, I think it's around under $300 per person, so about half the price. So do check out the single country 1, 2, 3-day France passes if you do have last minute travelers. And of course, we can always do the pass holder fares from here. The France passes as well, the EURAIL product, the kids do travel for free if they are under 12, and then you still get your senior and your youth discounts with that. So if you need more info on the EURAIL updates, we did do that webinar back in January. So you can scroll through the slides on the agent resources. But yeah, the France passes have your adult, senior, youth, child passes in both first and second class. Another, so this is just a bit of an example as a comparison. So we do have here 2 sectors. So one adult in first class, Paris to Bordeaux, and then Bordeaux on to Lyon. So we have the total cost per person for the full fare tickets coming in at $338. But with the current promo of 10% off EURAIL passes, the EURAIL 2-day France Pass comes down to $225, and then you've got a couple of seat res in there. So it's a total of $275 per adult for this one. We also have a couple of benefits of the EURAIL France Pass. So children travel free up to 12. The current promo, it does end on Tuesday, but it is 10% off, and they do have 11 months to start that pass. Unvalidated pass passes are refundable up to 12 months after issuing. There is just a $30 per person. So that doesn't count the promo. The promo passes are non-refundable, non-exchangeable. But if you do have clients that do want to purchase France passes and don't end up using them, then they can have that flexibility to get their money back. And then just consider that passes are, of course, paper tickets only. So we will send them out to you quite quickly, but they are paper product and they do need to be validated locally prior to boarding. If you do, of course, have clients coming in to Charles de Gaulle and getting straight on a TGV service, our guys in our office can pre-validate them. You would just have to let us know during the booking process and then what date you want that pass to start. Pre-validating them again makes them validated and therefore non-refundable. There are also a huge amount of bonuses. So in terms of the additional bonuses that clients get either with a EURAIL France Pass or a EURAIL Global Pass, we do have a benefits tab on the website. So that does have a PDF there. It is quite large. It is around 160 pages long, but it does have for the French section all of the validities, where the pass can be used, all information about EURAIL aid officers, lockers, lost luggage, passenger assistance, and it also includes the bonuses. People often forget about these. So there are things like discounted city passes and shopping tours. You also get access to certain lounge with first class. So the Thalys Lounge of Paris Nord can be accessed with a first class pass holder fare with a Thalys reservation. There are 10% discounts on Citadines hotels, and there is also a €20 discount on pre-booked tickets to Disneyland. There are a number of others. There's things like a Eurosender, so a luggage transfer service. There's things like discounts off photo books, off different attractions, off ferries. There's a whole bunch in there. So if your clients are getting a EURAIL pass, make sure you check that out. But definitely consider the bonuses when looking at a French pass as well. So just a couple of tips on seat reservations. In terms of clients traveling around Europe with the EURAIL pass, France is the hardest country, and the reason that it is, and it's not hard, it's just a little bit harder than the others, and that is because reservations are limited. So for EURAIL Global Passes, there are only so many seats available per train, and for your France passes, there are 2 different prices. So just make sure if your clients are going to France or if they are traveling on journeys in and out of France, seat reservations are compulsory and they are limited. These trains will generally open around 90 to 120 days in advance. So for most journeys, you can start booking them 4 months out. Just keep an eye on those pass holder fares to ensure that if they are selling out quickly, your clients don't miss out. Because unfortunately, if the pass holder fares are all sold out on the train they wish to travel on, the only way to get on that train would be to purchase a full fare ticket. The other thing about French trains is that international journeys are a higher res fee. So if you're traveling from Paris into Switzerland, this cost is around $110. If they're traveling down into Italy, it's about the same. Traveling between Paris and Barcelona, it's between sort of $50 to $60. So just remember, standard $15 to $20 on average when advising clients about seat res is a good overview. However, if they are taking a French international service, it is going to be a little bit more. I do, however, have a bit of a trick when when there is a change required, when there is a higher seat res required. So this is just a bit of an example on how to save on seat reservations between Paris and Basel. So between Paris and Basel, the TGV LYRIA is an international service, so that pass holder fare in first class is around $110. However, if you take a TGV, and you can see by the train number on that service, it is exactly the same train, but because we are only going to Mulhouse, it is priced as a domestic service. They still get the same seats and the same inclusions as if you were paying the $110. But they will go between Paris and Mulhouse, pay that $17, and then between Mulhouse and Basel, that is a TER service, so it is a regional train and seat reservations cannot be done and are not compulsory. So we've added roughly 24 minutes to the travel time, included a change in Mulhouse and saved them around $93. possibly. My maths isn't great today. Yeah, it says down the bottom. So $93 in savings for that small break. So for clients who are going into Switzerland via the north, Mulhouse is going to be your best transfer option. If they are going into Geneva, then of course you can send them into Lyon and then get a regional train from there. If you would like any help with how to break this up and how to save on that high res, please do let our guys know. They can always assist with that. One of the changes for 2019 that was on our What's New presentation was that the Thalys, the trains from Amsterdam, now have direct services into Charles de Gaulle Airport. So there is actually, in fact, a direct Amsterdam to Bordeaux, which will run during the summer months. But for this exercise, we just put together a bit of an example on how you can avoid transfers in Paris. So between Amsterdam and Bordeaux, or Amsterdam and any city in the south of France. Previously, you would have to go Amsterdam into Paris Nord. They would then have to arrange either a metro transfer or a private transfer between Paris Nord and Paris Gare Lyon station, and then from there connect with another service onwards. But there are a number of trains per day which travel from most major cities in the mid to south end of France that do have direct services into Paris Airport. There are only 2 direct services a day from Amsterdam to Charles de Gaulle, but this will save your clients a heap of time and a lot of stress when it comes to connecting between Amsterdam, Rotterdam, or Brussels down into the other side of Paris. We also introduced a feature last year, and I've just asked Sophia to add this on just as a reminder. So this is the copy routes tool. So when you are looking at the multi-city search, you will see a button that says copy routes. What that button will do, once you click on it, it'll pop up with the copy routes pop-up. You then need to copy the complete link. This will generate a link which identifies your itinerary. So you'll have to take that link and save it somewhere externally. But if you're looking up stuff for clients today and they're still wanting to think about it, or if they're not ready to go ahead, obviously coming back 3 days later or a month later or a year later and retyping all those connections can be a bit of a pain. So if you save the link and then come back and click back on that link, it'll open up our website and it'll auto-populate all of your departure, arrival, time and date, and PAX details into the search bar. So essentially, you just don't have to retype it again, which is a huge time saver, especially if you are doing a number of journeys. Just a reminder, of course, that with sightseeing and transport, we can do a number of sightseeing products in Paris. So we do have things like metro cards, museum passes, Paris City passes, and these, of course, are all products that you can do with rail, but you can also do standalone. There's no booking fee or delivery fee for any sightseeing. There's no delivery fee at all, but there's no booking fee for sightseeing products. So if you do need any of those, you can very easily book them through our website. We do also have a really cool luggage transfer service offered in Paris and in Lyon. So this is one that I did use personally and just found it to be such a big time saver. What the company will do is they will come to the station and meet the clients and then take their bags from them and then drop them off later that day. Or they also offer multi-day storage. They do transfers between Paris Central as well as the airports and out to Versailles. So for me, when I arrived into Paris, we came through from Brussels. We got in at 11 a.m., but we could not check in until 3 p.m. We arrived into Paris Nord and our hotel was on the other side of town. So what we would have had to do is get on a metro, cross the city all the way down to the 3rd, get to our hotel, take our bags in. Not only that, but lug the bags up the steps of the metro station and then head back out again, which would have wasted at least 2 hours. So we opted for the luggage service. They met us at the station. We knew well in advance where the meet point was. We also, the company also send to your clients a picture of the person that they are meeting, their phone number, their contact details, so they can get in contact with them. They then took our bags and dropped it off back at our hotel at 6 p.m. Quick change, went to dinner. So this is a service that we have in the sightseeing area as well that you can also offer to your clients. And most sightseeing products do have 10% commission as well. So that is basically our run through of France today. And if anyone has any questions, Okay, so Sophia has just let me know that the Q&A box is not working. So if you have sent any questions, do apologise, but it looks like we're just having some technical issues with the Q&A box. So there probably won't be any questions coming through, but do feel free if you would like to email them through to me. My email is ndejager, so it's ndejager @raileurope.com.au. Otherwise, once we send out the post webinar report, please feel free to respond straight back to that if you do have any questions about France. So overall, France is an amazing journey, an amazing place to travel on high-speed rail journeys. They travel, obviously the trains go through all these super cute little towns and you get to see amazing sightseeing on the way, but it's also such an efficient way to get around as well. So if you do have clients heading to France, they are going into Paris, have a check and see if they would like to do rail, and strongly recommend it because it is really a great way to travel. So yeah, since we don't have the Q&A, that might be the end of today's webinar. I hope you've learned something. There are a lot of little hacks and tips and tricks that we do have with all of the European rail countries. So this is obviously just a couple of examples with France, but there are more. So if you ever do have an itinerary which is looking a bit odd, or if it maybe doesn't make any sense, do let our guys know, and they can, of course, assist in any way that they can. So thank you so much. Again, you will receive the link and the video and all the information in the post-webinar run-through. If you do have clients interested in EURAIL passes, do remember that promo does end on Tuesday. The promo is 10% off and the passes can be used within the next 11 months. There are also a number of early bird and sale fares still on offer for France. So if you are seeing those fares, they came in a little bit late. So some of the prices, they do jump up quite a lot from that early bird. So just click the show all button and you'll be able to see the next price up, or grab them as quick as possible. Thanks so much. I hope everyone has an amazing Friday and a great weekend. And please, let us know if you have any questions at all. Thanks. Bye.